Good morning again from Burlington, North Carolina. Another cool and pleasant morning for the second round of 2025 Region 10 D2 South Atlantic District Tournament. 46th game of the Louisburg College Hurricanes 2025 season. Louisburg College takes on Pitt Community College with the action coming to you live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to a postseason edition of Hurricanes Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network with Carter Honeycutt. I'm Bill Martone. The Hurricanes dropped round one to Bryant and Stratton and are now facing immediate elimination in the double elimination regional tournament being played in the historic Fairchild Stadium at the Burlington Athletic Complex. Louisburg College. Can they regain their Hurricane status here in the loser bracket and win their way back to the championship game? Stay tuned to find out right here on the Louisburg Sports Network after the break. Louisburg College Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, being brought to you in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed, feeding farms, families, and the community for over 40 years. And Mangum Insurance Agency with products and service for every occasion with offices in Coates and Dunn. And Johnny's Barbecue, specializing in Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue. Welcome back to Game 2. For Louisburg College in the postseason playoffs as they take on Pitt Community College. Both teams dropping in upsets yesterday. Pitt coming in as the East Conference number 1 seed and Louisburg as the West Conference number 2. Both finding themselves now facing immediate elimination here in round 2 at 10 a.m. in Burlington, North Carolina. Yesterday's game for your Louisburg College Hurricanes, an upset of proportions, not what the Hurricanes expected here in Burlington to start off the bracket, coming in on an 8-game win streak. Louisburg had trouble keeping up with Bryant and Stratton in a 14-3 loss yesterday here at the Athletic Stadium, where Bryant and Stratton were first to get on the board in the second with Dakota Dahl doubling and scoring 1 run, followed up by a single by the shortstop Diego Melendez and a double by first baseman Chris Johnson, and further damage by left fielder Justin Smith helped Bryant and Stratton extend an early lead in the third inning. Nick Lovello, however, followed up with a 2-run homer in the fifth to get the Louisburg College Hurricanes on the board. But not much more was going to help, even though Steven Kreiner put up a solo home run of his own into left field. Colbreth stepped on the hill for the first start of the postseason for Louisburg College, allowing 8 hits and 7 runs, 5 earned over 4 and 1/3 innings, striking out 3 and walking 2. Opposing pitcher Casey Proctor, however, began the game for Bryant and Stratton, and the southpaw allowed only 4 hits and 2 runs over 5 innings, striking out 2 and walking 3. So again, Louisburg College facing off in double elimination with 1 loss to their record, as is Pitt Community College. And the action will be coming to you right here live from behind the backstop, high atop the home stand grandstands in Burlington, North Carolina, as we get ready for the first inning right now. National anthem taking place. National anthem is concluded. Announcements and lineups have been read by the PA Stadium announcer. And Pitt Community College, with the home field advantage, will be taking the field here shortly. Starting pitcher for Pitt Community College will be Luke Lambert, and his defense behind him is going to be from left to right, Cam Greenway, Mitch Jones, and J.D. Scarborough in the outfield. Across the infield from third to first will be Pospisil, Stallings, Mason, and Chavez. And catching for the starting pitcher, Luke Lambert, Patrick Bolt. Facing Luke Lambert will be your Louisburg College Hurricanes in this specific order to start the game. Nick Lobello, followed by James Green and Evan Slowinski in the top three slots. In the middle third, Kenny Shadle, Jace Dunn, and Anthony Jones. And rounding out the order, Jake Modrak, Stephen Kreiner, and Colin Cusick. Nick Lobello with the two-run homer yesterday, stepping into the box at the plate to start the game for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. And a lot of excitement from the Hurricane dugout as they're looking to get something started early here in Game 2 after their first loss yesterday. And Luke Lambert's first pitch, a called strike on the leadoff batter. Swung on to the left side of the infield. And Brody Stallings unable to transfer the ball out of his glove cleanly, and Nick Lobello reaches on an E6. James Green coming to the plate for the first time. The left-hander yesterday put one deep into right field out to the warning track. He is right on the back of that batter's box as Lambert deals a fastball that just misses on the outside. About 25 people joining us so far in the broadcast. It's the top of the first inning, and you're watching Louisburg College baseball here live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. James Green, the second batter after Nick Lobello, reached on an error by the shortstop Brody Stallings. The pickoff not in time. Single camera broadcast this afternoon, or this morning rather, going into the afternoon here in Game 2 of double elimination. Both teams, as mentioned in the opening monologue, having lost in upsets based on their seeding yesterday. And Lambert's second offering to James Green, high and away, third offering, now a 2-1 count in the top of the first inning. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard. We already have some of our usual suspects chiming in the live chat. Thanks for letting us know you're out there. If you haven't yet, log in and let us know where you're watching from, who you're here in support of. I'm sure we have some crossover viewers for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. all are welcome. We'll try to call a fair game, even though we're here rooting for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs, and a runner on first. Luke Lambert delivers, and James Green fouls that one off out of the stadium to fill up the count as the second batter here as we start the game. Pickoff, not in time. Full count about to be delivered by the starting pitcher, and James Green hacks that one off into the broadcast booth. Well, at least just to the side of the broadcast booth. We are high atop the roof here at the Burlington Athletics Stadium. Otherwise known as Fairfield Stadium in its initial iteration when it was moved from Danville. The pitch, swing and a miss, and the first out of the game. Number 3 batter this morning. Evan Slawinski, the shortstop. 6 home runs and a .328 batting average after yesterday's game. Lambert's first pitch, swung on, popped up on the right side. Incoming is the right fielder, Scarborough. And Labello on a hit and run action returns safely to first base. 2 outs with 1 on at this point. Kenny Shadle, the third baseman for the majority of the season, steps up to the batter's box, but not yet in. Shadle with 17 home runs through the regular season. Led Region 10. Labello at first, 2 outs, and Kenny Shadle checks swing on a fastball from Luke Lambert. Gets called strike 1. 35 people. The count is climbing on viewers in YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Welcome aboard. And Lambert's next pitch bounces off the dirt just in front of the catcher, Patrick Bolt. Smells like some funnel cakes are frying here at Burlington Athletics Stadium. If you're in the area, stop by and check out the concession stand. The sock puppets, as mentioned yesterday, are the home team here during the summer. And Shadle swings over the top of a off-speed breaking pitch. Breaking ball, the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, a runner on. Bolt holds his glove, giving the home plate umpire second opportunity to decide, but a 2-2 count now with 2 outs and a runner on first. Lambert comes into the game with a 4.09 ERA and 45 strikeouts. Pitch clock violation, says the infield umpire, and a ball will be awarded and filling up the count. The payoff pitch to Shadles, swing and a miss, and that's going to be 3 with 1 left on. Starting batting order for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. Leading off will be J.D. Scarborough, followed by Brody Stallings and Josh Mason. In the middle of the order, Cam Greenway, Zach Chavez, and Jan Pospisil. In the bottom third, Mitch Jones, Patrick Bolt, and Evan Goodwin. That lineup right there is going to be facing off against this young man, Henry Good. 6 starts with a perfect 6-0 win-loss record, a 5.52 ERA, and 35 strikeouts. He's got 11 of those by the window shopper and a .313 opposing batting average. He's put up 45 2/3 inning of work this season in his freshman debut. Coming out of Angier, North Carolina, and Garner High School, he'll be playing for the Garner Nationals American Legion team under head coach Chris Cook this summer, along with a handful of other Louisburg players. Legion baseball alive and well in the capital city of Raleigh, North Carolina, in and around. Last summer, Casey Colbreth took the Wilson team all the way to the state title. This summer, Coach Chris Cook looking to do the same with a handful of players here out of Louisburg. And the first batter, J.D. Scarborough for the Bulldogs, takes the first pitch out of the strike zone from Henry Good. Second offering, fouled out of the stadium, 1-1 count. Scarborough comes in batting .289 with a .526 slugging and .423 on-base percentage. And he hacks one right to Jace Dunn, who takes it himself unassisted for the first out. We saw Jace Dunn with a number of those unassisted ground balls yesterday in Game 1. And the second batter now, the shortstop, Brody Stallings. Stallings batting .351 with a .403 slugging and .461 on-base percentage. He, too, starts off his at-bat with a ball. And the second pitch, down the middle, called strike. Henry Good evens up the count 1-1. Stallings put the bat out there like he was going to bunt and drew it back. Third offering there across the opposite batter's box. Presumably a throwaway, trying to get Stallings to chase. The 2-1 popped up foul territory. Jace Dunn giving chase to the fence, but runs out of tarmac before he can get to it. The 2-2, and Stallings gets rung up looking. Henry Good with a window shopper and 2 outs. Third batter in the lineup now, Josh Mason, the second baseman, and he looks at a strike down the middle. Mason batting .432, .632 slugging, .508 on-base percentage. Good, just missing on the 6 inches between the far edge of the plate and the opposite batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. He comes back on the inside and misses again. 2-1. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. Shadle scoops up. Carter Honeycutt back on the mic with me this morning. Welcome back, Carter. Get you tuned up here. There you are, sir.
There we go.
2-2. Foul ball. So you sat here last night up in the box for all 4 games?
Yes, sir.
What time did you get out of here?
I believe the last game finished around 11:15. Game 4 went to extra innings last night.
Breaking ball, off speed, fouled off into the net. And we're still at 2-2 with 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first inning. No score yet from either team. And Henry Good comes set. The 2-2. Softly popped up, but not enough time for Modrak to get to it before it hits the stone dust warning track in front of the Bulldogs dugout.
Mason got a little extended there, lost the bat on the swing.
Little whoopsies. Need some more pine tar. He'll come back into frame here in a moment in the lower left corner. All stickied up. That stuff finds its way once you put it on your bat and your gloves. It goes everywhere. The 2-2. And he gets him looking. 2 window shoppers. Puts a bow on the first inning with Henry Good and the Louisburg College Hurricanes pumped up to try to get a rally going here as they go to the dugout and come to the plate to start off the top of the second inning. Game 2, round 2. Both teams, Pitt Community College and Louisburg, dropped in upsets yesterday in the double elimination tournament for the South Atlantic playoffs of Region 10 D2. We're bringing you live action right here from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Coming to the plate for your Louisburg College Hurricanes, Jace Dunn, Anthony Jones, and Jake Modrak will be starting the top of the second inning in Game 2. Carter Honeycutt, myself, Bill Martone, bringing you live action all morning here on the Louisburg Sports Network. A little bird's eye view of Carter behind me there. Myself, Bill Martone, here in the press box at the Burlington Athletics Stadium in Burlington, North Carolina. A little picture-in-picture fun. Say hi to all the fans out there, Carter.
Hi, how are y'all? Hope y'all are having a great morning.
And the first batter to start off the top of the second, Jace Dunn. And Luke Lambert's first pitch out of the strike zone, and he starts off Dunn with a ball. The 1-0 swung on. You see our cameras bouncing as they're squeezed between the openings of this backstop netting. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Hard to tell from this bird's eye view up above whether the ball is high, low, if it's a cutter, splitter. Sometimes we can see some lateral movement left to right, but hard to see if it's up or down in the strike zone. That one clearly across the opposite batter's box to Bolt. Lambert toeing the slab. As mentioned, across the infield, Pospisil and Stallings on the left side with Mason and Chavez on the right. Greenway, Jones, and Scarborough across the outfield. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Patrick Bolt, and Jace Dunn records the first out here in the top of the second inning. Anthony Jones, for the first time today, fouls off the second pitch. It's a 1-1 count. Jones yesterday with 3 at-bats, 1 strikeout. And the Hurricanes, other than a couple of home runs, one from Labello, the other from Kreiner, they just could not get anything started yesterday. But a lot more energy coming out of the Louisburg dugout. Line shot, drops in front of the center fielder, Mitch Jones. And there's Anthony Jones with a single with 1 out as the DH. 7th batter, the catcher for your Louisburg College Hurricanes, Jake Modrak. Lambert studying his pitch communicator on his wrist. Got nailed with a pitch clock violation in the first inning as a result. So you have to work efficiently with the pitch clock. Popped up right side, out of play. Kind of brings a new dynamic to baseball for anybody who's not familiar with watching pitch clock rules. And there's Lambert saying, hurry up, come on. And now he's going to have to work quick to get rid of it after he comes set. And that one gets past Bolt, and Anthony Jones picks up a stolen base on a pass ball. So after 11 o'clock last night, hate to think what time you actually put your head down and close your eyes.
It was about 1:30 in the morning. Got home about 1 a.m., but wasn't too bad. Stadium cleanup went pretty well. The fans did a good job of keeping this place clean and tidy.
Foul ball down the left side. Pospisil giving chase. And that one will go past the bullpen down the left field line. It's my 3rd time here at the Athletic Stadium in Burlington, and with each visit, I'm just increasingly more impressed. I love the age, the patina on the grandstands, and yet the kind of modernism of the field and the surroundings. Swing and a miss. That's 2. Steven Kreiner, 8th batter in the lineup. Had that solo home run to left field we saw yesterday, Carter. It hardly looked like it was traveling from our vantage point up here, but he clearly got enough barrel on that inside pitch. I called it in on the hands because it was a little bit middle in the zone, but he got that barrel out front and obviously drove it over the fence.
Yeah, when it came off the bat, it didn't come off too hot. Someone's in there for a strike. It didn't come off too hot, so I thought it was going to get down, but I did not think it was going to keep carrying as much as it did. It just got up there and just stayed up there.
Yeah, clearly had some good trajectory on it. 330 in the corner of left field, so he had to be at least, say, 345 and over a 8-foot fence. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs with Anthony Jones down on second. He reached on a base hit and then picked up a stolen base on a wild pitch or pass ball, depending on how you want to look at it. The 1-1. And Kreiner fouls that one out of the stadium.
And this is also an area at the plate that you hope that Louisburg is able to break through today. They had some opportunities with runners in scoring position yesterday, but just left too many men stranded.
Uncharacteristic of their offense, uncharacteristic of their defense yesterday with Colbreth just not having a good outing. But they're back today looking to win. They want to get themselves, obviously, to the championship game, as everybody here in the tournament does. But they're looking to push water up that rope, as the loser bracket gives you a disadvantage, but it's still an opportunity to find your way all the way to the final game. And if I'm not mistaken, they did lose 1 game, Louisburg did 1 game in last year's tournament, and found their way against Brunswick in the final game, losing by just 1 run at the end of the game. So everything is possible here in postseason. Luke Lambert towing the slab, looks back at Anthony Jones. He deals and misses high above the strike zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a runner on second. Shy of another base runner, we would say 2s are wild at this moment, as we're in the top of the 2nd inning as well, and the Hurricanes with 2 hits on the board. So 2-2-2, just all across. Lambert comes set and delivers the 2-2. Soft ground ball on the right side, gets through and goes out to Scarborough. Jones rounds third, and he's going to touch home as he skirts past. And he never touched home plate is what the Bulldogs are saying, and the home plate umpire says he was out.
Oh, wow.
So if anybody wants to go back and look at the replay of the broadcast, we'll try to do that right here in a moment.
Yeah, throw taking the catcher up the line. He had to avoid him to miss the runner had to avoid him to miss the tag, but just took a little bit too much of a wide berth, and guess he missed the plate.
So that'll be 3 outs, even though Kreiner reached on a single. And Jones will record the 3rd out. That'll bring Colin Cusick, Nick Lobello, and James Green to the plate in the top of the 3rd inning. But right now, we have Henry Good in the defense back out on the field. I just looked at the replay. We'll see Jones running to 3rd. He rounds a little bit wide, comes down the baseline, goes around the back, and looks like he just nips the home plate.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have replay review here, but
and Kreiner actually slipped coming out of the batter's box.
Yeah, I believe
Jones
he touched.
probably just by the width of a hair on his big toe touching home plate. So tough, kind of maybe not the ideal position for the home plate umpire to be in to call that, but I think technically he probably was in the right expected place. But from our vantage point high above, you could clearly see, so go ahead, rewind the broadcast if you want. You'll see it as well.
That's another break this weekend, just not going Louisburg's way. But so far, in that 1st inning, Good was very efficient with his pitch count and getting batters to get themselves out. So if he can continue that.
Cam Greenway leads the Bulldogs in batting average at .436. He's got a .671 slugging and .548 on-base percentage. Only 14 strikeouts. Good now, misses the strike zone 4 in a row and records his first walk. Might have been trying to find corners a little too aggressively on Greenway to start off the inning, but Good with a perfect 6-0 win-loss record on his 6 starts for the season. And as mentioned, he's got a .313 opposing batting average, but that just tells you he relies upon a combination of his defense and offense to keep the Louisburg Hurricanes winning for those 6 games. The first pitch now to the second batter, Zach Chavez, the first baseman, a called strike. No outs, runner on first, and the second batter swung on the next offering and drops that one in front of James Green. He throws into third, but will be a bit offline to Shadle. And a single puts Cam Greenway from first to third. And Chavez reaches cleanly to first base as Jan Pospisil, the Czech Republic third baseman, steps in. Pospisil with a .394 average and a .455 on base, or a .549 slugging. He looks at a first pitch from Good, a called strike. About 50 people watching so far in the broadcast. Thanks for joining us. And appreciate all your comments in the live chat. And a foul tip from Pospisil takes the count to 0-2. No out, runners on the corners.
And also with this losers bracket game today, since both these teams were upset, you're really going to see good on good. So for both teams, it's going to be a battle to get back to the championship game.
Speaking of Goods, Henry Good on the mound. Tone the Slab as a starting pitcher. Has been the Game 2 starter for the better part of the season. Right to Jace Dunn. Well done. Back to the plate. And he says he's safe. Home plate umpire says the foot came behind Jake Modrak to touch home plate before the tag. The question would be, did the base runner and catcher touch at all before the glove came around? Again, we'll leave it up to those of you watching from home to rewind the broadcast on YouTube here on the Louisburg Sports Network and tell us what you think. Was that a clean run scored, or was it another blown call by the home plate umpire?
Yeah, the throw definitely beat him to the plate, but it was just a matter of did that catcher get the tag down.
So Pospisil on a ground ball to Dunn gets out and unable to get the ball back down to Jake Modrak quickly enough before Cam Greenway scores. Zach Chavez, however, is down on second now with 1 out. Hard hit, center field. Steven Kreiner a couple steps forward, then 2 steps back, catches, and the runner tags. The throw to Shadle, and he's safe again. Wow, what a combination of calls by the officiating. And now the infield umpire at second says he took off and didn't tag up, so 3 outs. All sorts of interesting calls happening here in Burlington in Game 2 of the double elimination postseason Region 10 tournament between the Louisburg College Hurricanes and the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. Exciting, and we're only in the 3rd inning. Evan Goodwin, Patrick Bolt, and J.D. Scarborough for the Bulldogs when they go back to the plate. But right now, your Louisburg College Hurricanes are coming to the batter's box with Colin Cusick, Nick Labello, and James Green. Carter Honeycutt, myself, Bill Martone, bringing you live action of the Louisburg College Hurricanes and Pitt Community College. Game 2, round 2 playoffs, as both teams upset yesterday in the first round with losses, finding their way here to a 10 a.m. start. The fourth time this season that both these teams have faced off against each other. And the batter right now, bottom of the order, but start for the inning, Colin Cusick. And the second baseman looks at a first pitch from the starter, Luke Lambert. That goes low and away. Our executive producer extraordinaire, Sophia, is keeping the scoreboard for everybody at home today. Doing a much better job than I could manage by myself. And we're in the bottom of the third inning. A one-run game at this point, and Hurricanes now looking to get a runner across home plate cleanly. Anthony Jones called out by the home plate umpire. That ball popped up left field on the run at the track, and against the wall is Cam Greenway. A big league, big boy play by the left fielder as he tracks that one all the way to the wall and makes the catch as he collides into the fence. No padding out there, though, by the looks of it, unless that's just faded. Kind of dark and weathered looking.
Yeah, so normally in season we'll have all of our sponsor banners up there, so it is chain link, but those banners offer a little bit of padding, but since we're not up there yet. Yeah.
Nick Labello pops that one up on the right side, and Scarborough in foul territory makes the catch as he runs into the bullpen of the Hurricanes. 2 away very quickly. So a fly out to left followed by a fly out to right. And James Green steps in as the third batter, though second in the lineup for the day. He struck out in the first inning. Luke Lambert looking down at that pitch communicator. It almost becomes, a little bit of a problem when you're not getting those signs or those calls quickly enough. Fly ball, right center field, and makes the catch is Mitch Jones on the run. 3 up, 3 down on only a handful of pitches. And Evan Slewinski left in the on-deck circle, followed by Kenny Shadle and Jace Dunn when the Hurricanes come back to the plate in the 4th inning. Hurricanes managing to fly out to each of the outfielders, left, right, and center. A little over 50 people watching the action. here in Burlington, North Carolina in the postseason of the NJCAA Region 10 D2 East versus West again this morning. How you like my DJ skills, Carter?
Oh,
Pretty good? Yeah, smooth, wasn't it?
Great fade out. Great music selection.
Henry Good's first offering.
What I really like that Good
Called
was able
strike.
What I really like that Good was able to do last inning.
Goodwin popped up to Labello in right field. 2 pitches, 1 out.
But what Good did really well last inning was he didn't let the controversial call at home affect him and let the inning get worse or get out of hand. Just kept it to the single run. So I can see why he's 6-0, really keeping the
good poise for a freshman.
There.
Breaking ball falls off a little too much and misses the front end of the strike zone. Patrick Bolt, the catcher, in the box right now with 1 out. He's the second, last in the order, second for the inning. And Bolt batting .281 with a .544 on base percentage, a .526 slugging.
This is a good win at the plate.
Oh, how do I keep missing? So I had Mitch Jones, who grounded out to first, and then they threw back. Boy, I had the same problem yesterday keeping these guys straight. My apologies. So
another true Good versus Good battle there. Henry Good versus Goodwin.
So I had Patrick Bolt and Goodwin reversed in my book. Two outs, and we're at the top of the order with J.D. Scarborough, the right fielder. And he fouls off the next offering. So a fly out and a swinging strikeout for the Louisburg Hurricane starter, Henry Good, as he throws away the next offering to Scarborough on the opposite batter's box. Or to the opposite batter's box. Line drive past a diving Jace Dunn will get out to Nick Labello, and Scarborough reaches on a base hit to right field. Brody Stallings struck out looking. He was a window shopper in his first at-bat.
Great effort over there by Dunn, trying to get full extension on that.
Yeah, even my attitude toward especially the corners, at least make it look like you're trying. Even if they're nowhere near. Dive, get dirty, and a pickoff. Close, but no cigar. Little Carney language. My producer, Sophia, looking at me like, what does that mean? And the first pitch now. Down the middle, called strike. Maybe Stallings is a looker of sorts. Two out and a runner on first. The 0-1, a little up and in on the shortstop, Stallings.
Good has also done a really good job so far.
It jinxed him. 1-1 turns into a 2-1.
But what I was saying is he's done a good job so far of not being in the middle of the plate, which I think was Louisburg's problem yesterday. They were filling the zone up, but just catching too much of the plate and just allowing for them to get bat on ball.
Yeah, the Bobcats were place hitting too off of those middle pitches. Middle away, gets a called strike 2 by our home plate umpire, presumably the crew chief. We're going to have to just refer to them, as Mike Daniels told me yesterday, as Mo, Larry, and Curly. So we'll give Mo, the home plate crew chief. Popped up right side. Colin Cusick calls off Jace Dunn, and he takes it one-handed for the third out. And the Hurricanes defense looking pretty sharp there in the third inning as we move to the top of the fourth. Josh Mason, Cam Greenway, and Zach Chavez will be due up for the Bulldogs in the top of the fourth, but your Louisburg College Hurricanes are coming to the plate right now with Evan Slowinski, Kenny Shadle, and Jace Dunn. Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, being brought to you in part all season long by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed. Quality for over 40 years, feeding farms, families, and communities. Mangum Insurance Agency with offices in Coates and Dunn. Products and service for every occasion. And Johnny's Barbecue, specializing in North Carolina, Eastern North Carolina, whole hog barbecue right there in Louisburg, North Carolina. Let them know you heard and saw their advertisements on the Louisburg Sports Network, watching Hurricanes baseball. Live from behind the backstop via YouTube on the Louisburg Sports Network. It's been a real pleasure all season long bringing you the play-by-play action of predominantly the home games with a couple of road games. One specifically at Ting Stadium against the Wake Tech Eagles, as well as yesterday's game here on the road, and again, of course, today. Game 2. Evan Slowinski. Affectionately referred to as Slaw by his teammates in the dugout. He looks at a first pitch called strike from Luke Lambert.
Lambert's been efficient so far. That was only his 41st pitch of the game.
A little bit too far inside on the second offering. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Lambert so far with 3 innings of work has given up 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. He's faced 11 batters through 26 strikes on 41 pitches. Not to one-up you on the stats. Sorry about that, Carter.
Oh, no. I'm perfectly fine being one-upped. Love to have the information.
2 balls, 1 strike, no outs, leadoff batter. Third in the lineup overall, Evan Slowinski. He flied out to the right fielder, J.D. Scarborough, in the first inning. And the pitch swung on and fouled out of play. $46 people. Quick, call your friends and family. Share the link with them. Let's get this over 50. Yeah, heck with that. Let's go right to 100. Get 100 viewers for the day. Would be a good number. Off the end of the barrel, underside of the bat, goes foul toward the dugout of the Pitt Bulldogs. Pitt Community College. Tomato. One of those. They all sound good. 2-2 count on the leadoff batter. Patrick Bolt holds his glove for the home plate umpire, Mo, and he says no Motts. That's a ball. Full count. Kenny Shadle's in the on-deck circle. And Slowinski goes down looking.
I believe Slowinski thought it was a bit low, but catcher did a great job presenting it to the umpire, and that'll be out number 1.
Yeah, that was middle from left to right in the zone. And you just have to protect with 2 strikes. Anything close, you got to get a barrel on it, even if you just fight it off for another attempt. Shadle exercising some plate discipline on the first offering from Luke Lambert that went across the opposite batter's box. And Shadle is well conditioned at selective hitting, hence the 17 home runs on the regular season. Pops this one up shallow right field. J.D. Scarborough calls off the second baseman, Josh Mason, for the second out. And Lambert doing a fairly good job of getting these pop-ups into the outfield. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5 so far in the game. Kind of doing exactly what the coach would ask for in a starting pitcher, just eat up those innings. Fifth batter overall, Jace Dunn, the first baseman. The count 1-0. Dunn hacks that one out of play on the left side. Dunn struck out swinging in the second inning to start it off. And Anthony Jones came in behind him with a single, which, if you were watching, you'll recall Jones made his way around on a hit by Steven Kreiner, nipped the left edge of the home plate, but got called out. Dunn looks at the next offering, and the count now 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. The Hurricanes need to get a bit of a rally going here, a 2-out rally. Lambert's 1-2 sails a bit high. Coach Bryce Myers on the left side of your screen in red. Coach Matt Tulloch on the right side off first base in blue. And Lambert deals a fastball up and in. Full count now with 2 outs. Affectionately referred to as what, Carter?
I'm sorry, I was looking at my I was entering some stats. I did not hear you.
Lambert about to deal the payoff pitch with a full count and 2 outs. The deciding pitch right here. Swing and a miss. And Dunn heads back to the dugout and out to the field as he is the 3rd out. Anthony Jones, Jake Modrak, and Steven Kreiner for the Hurricanes when they come back to the plate in the 5th inning, while Mason, Greenway, and Chavez coming to the plate for the Bulldogs here in just a moment after the break. Carter Honeycutt, myself, Bill Martone, bringing you Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball against the Pitt Community College Bulldogs here in Game 2 at Burlington Athletic Stadium in Burlington, North Carolina. We're about 35, 40 minutes west of Raleigh, North Carolina, along I-85. Neighboring is Graham, North Carolina, as well as Elon, High Point, kind of in that area of North Carolina. And on the mound, still towing the slab for the Hurricanes, is the starter, Henry Good. We were talking about pitcher efficiency. And Good so far has put up 3 innings of work, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, faced 11 batters with 28 strikes on 46 pitches. That ball grounded to Shadle across comfortably to Jace Dunn for the first out. So a 5-3 goes in the book against Josh Mason.
And Good so far this game has reminded me, honestly, a decent amount of Bryce Elder from the Atlanta Braves. He's a guy who works fast. He doesn't have, mind-blowing velo, but he has good control, and, he lets his defense play behind him.
Yeah, pitcher, not a thrower. Definitely the case for Henry Good, and well composed for a freshman debut. Fouled off down the left line. Coaches for Pitt Community College, head coach Tommy Eason has put up 19 seasons with Pitt Community College at Lewis Field in Winterville, North Carolina.
Little bit of a relation here. My oldest brother, lives in Winterville. He goes to ECU Med School there. He actually teaches an EMT class at Pitt Community College.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball by Cam Greenway. Good. Working the stuff. Putting up a little bit of dirty English on the ball. The 1-2 up and in.
Also, just another compliment here to the freshman is none of his stuff has looked flat today.
No, moving it up and down, left and right, inside. Swing and a miss.
That is a big slider with great location. Like you said, he's a pitcher, not a thrower.
4th strikeout on the day so far for Good. He's racking up those SOs in the slash line for the season. Third batter for the inning, the first baseman, Zach Chavez, with a strike to start off and a foul ball. That makes it an 0-2 count with 2 out and nobody on. Both bullpens are empty at this point as the starters, Lambert and Good, are doing good. And the 0-2 trying to get the first baseman, Chavez, to chase, but not having it just yet. The 1-2 swung on. Foul into the bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swung on, lofted softly into left field, and James Green under it for a can of corn. A 1-2-3 inning. Go down the Bulldogs with Pospisil on deck, followed by Jones and Bolt when they come back to the plate in the 5th inning. And your Louisburg College Hurricanes are going to be bringing up Anthony Jones, Jake Modrak, and Steven Kreiner. Anthony Jones in the box to start off the top of the 5th inning. A 1-1 count on the leadoff batter. Fly ball left field. On the run is Cam Greenway as he gets to the track and comes up with it.
That's 2 really good plays on the run from Greenway out there and left. He's just getting a really good jump and a really good read on the ball.
Jake Modrak's second trip into the box, up to the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat. Lambert deals, and Modrak going to drop that one in shallow center field in front of Mitch Jones. Good piece of hitting right there on the first pitch by the catcher. Steven Kreiner, 8th in the lineup with a solo home run yesterday to left field. He connects on that pitch into right center, but not enough on it as J.D. Scarborough comes up with it for the second out. Cusick with the fly out to Greenway in the 3rd inning. That was the one up against the fence. Lambert again, very studious to the pitch communicator. The first pitch with 2 outs, a bit in the dirt, but Patrick Bolt keeps it in front of him with a good defensive block. 2 out and a runner on first after Jake Modrak singled into shallow center field. 55 people watching along. Welcome to all. Hard hit, fly ball left field. Going back is Greenway over the fence. A 2-run homer for Colin Cusick, second baseman.
That was another one that just kind of got up there and kept going. It's an absolute screamer off the bat.
Second baseman with a 2-run homer to put the Hurricanes on the board and in the lead by 1 run here in the 5th inning. And Nick Lobello, who went yard yesterday himself with a 2-run homer, steps in. He swings hard through a fastball from Lambert. Lambert with a little bit of extra gas on that fastball there. The 0-1 just up a little bit.
And taking the lead there, that also makes you think how big that inning in that second inning from Nick Good to limit the damage to just 1 is now.
Line drive right to the shortstop, and that's 3. But not after the Hurricanes put 2 on the board with a single by Modrak and a dinger by Cusick. James Green will be coming up to lead off the 6th inning for the Hurricanes, followed by Slowinski and Shadle. Say it along with me, everybody. Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball being brought to you on the Louisburg Sports Network all season long by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed. 40 years serving the community, farms, and families, as well as Mangum Insurance Agency, giving you those insurance products and services. And Johnny's Barbecue with the Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. All three of those generous sponsors bringing the action to you live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. Can't seem to get our weather bug to work in the upper corner, but I can tell you it's basically a repeat of yesterday. Cool, light breeze, high 60s, maybe by mid to late afternoon into the 70s. Mostly clear skies, a couple of wispy, puffy clouds off in the distance. Leading off is Jan Pospisil, and he flies that one to Steven Kreiner. A couple steps back, and he makes it look easy as an FO8 starts off the bottom of the fifth inning. Jones is center fielder. He committed the second out in the second inning. For some reason, though, I didn't record it. Must have got distracted. Not sure if it was a strikeout, a ground out, a fly out. He looks at the first offering from Henry Good. Two balls, no strikes on the second batter with one out and nobody on. Jones is 0 for 1. He tips his head a little bit in disagreement about the call from the home plate umpire that it was a strike, but can't argue those. 2-1. Breaking ball stays in a little too much.
I believe we're calling the home plate umpire Mo currently, but he's had a pretty consistent zone throughout the whole game.
That was the same pitch that Cam Greenway swung through on the inside in the prior inning, but right there, Mitch Jones exercises some good plate discipline as Good tries to work around the corners but can't quite make it happen. And he puts up a second walk for the game. Not too bad in the fifth inning to only have 2 walks.
Pitch count still looking good at about 65 pitches. So he's, even with the 2 walks, he's been very efficient.
Patrick Bolt, the catcher, flied out to the right fielder, and there goes another bat out of the hands of the Bulldogs. For some reason, somebody gave them Vaseline instead of pine tar.
I know MLB has banned it, but it's looking like Pitt Community College is going to need some spider tack.
Yeah, you just never know if that makes its way to the ball. And you get some Trevor Bauer action, holding the hand out, palm down, and the ball sticking to it.
I mean, that was all sunscreen and sweat, though.
Yeah, sunscreen and sweat. Purely legal. He didn't help his case any when he was putting out those videos a few years back. But I do like his content overall. He's very educational from a pitching pickoff. Not in time. Good thought he had him. Mitch Jones was leaning a little, but he got back underneath the tag. That's Larry down on first base calling the pickoffs. Curley is on the middle infield to the right of the pitcher. Hard hit, and Good tries to get a glove on it. Colin Cusick gets him.
Oh, what a play.
What a diving play by the second baseman, and flips it off to Slowinski at second to get the force.
That was a great job. That was a great job there to keep his composure and just take the sure out there at second. Didn't try and do too much, and now there's 2 down.
So Bolt reaches on a fielder's choice as Cusick flips to Slowinski at second to get the force. And now we have Evan Goodwin at the bottom of the order. The DH struck out swinging in the third inning. And he has an 0-1 count with 2 outs. connects on one to left field. It's going to curl and drop foul down the left field line out of frame. Goodwin fifth in the batting average for the Bulldogs, 343, 425 on base, and 400 slugging. He has struck out 10 times. Well, 11 if you want to count his last at-bat. The 0-2 count now from Henry Good. Swung on, line drive, center field, and Steven Kreiner going to come up with it. .69 pitches for Henry Good so far as they go into the top of the 6th inning. Carter Honeycutt, myself, Bill Martone, executive producer Sophia, and a cast of others here making the production in the stadium and on the air a reality for all the Louisburg College fans, both away and here in the stands. Beneficiaries of the production, Pitt Community College Bulldogs, as we bring you live action. Hopefully 9 innings worth today. Game started at 10 o'clock. Broadcast an hour and 18 minutes so far, included a little bit of national anthem, so we probably got about an hour and 5-10 minutes under our belt of actual play. Pitt Community College was the #1 seed in the East Conference of the D2 Region 10 NJCAA. And so they have home field advantage here in Game 2 of the double elimination bracket tournament play, with Louisburg College, the #2 seed in the West. And right now, Louisburg College going to come to the plate with James Green, Evan Slewinski, and Kenny Shadle. Little in-stadium music. Green with 10 home runs in the regular season. He went on a tear for about 5 games going yard. 37 RBIs, 417 on base, and a 310. He is, last I knew, looking for a home in the fall as he's a sophomore. Decommitted out of the Midwest as he just didn't feel right about it. He was giving me some details I won't bother to share, but needless to say, he's a man of faith and trusts that his creator is going to find the right place for him for next season.
Yeah, he definitely has the talent, and from what it sounds like he's got the personality and is a good clubhouse guy.
Call him the hardest working man in Louisburg. He's out in the batting cage before 6 o'clock in the morning most days. Really puts in a lot of hard work. Back of the batter's box is Green as Lambert casts that one across the opposite batter's box. 2 balls, 1 strike to start off the top of the 6th inning. Green with a strikeout and a flyout, and he pops that one up shallow right field. Calling for it is Josh Mason, the second baseman. He grabs it and falls to the ground, and that's 1 out.
The Hurricanes were finally able to break through last inning, but they're not missing the ball by much right now.
No, they're not. Evan Slewinski, fly out to right, struck out looking. He's looking to do some damage, I'm sure, with the Carolina blue batting gloves. Looks like he's got a sliding mitt in his back pocket. The first pitch, swung on, drops it into left field in front of Cam Greenway for a base hit.
And right on cue, Slewinski barrels one up there. Let's getting the rally started again.
Hurricanes on a road game at Guilford Tech brought out the bleacher creature call-outs from the dugout while the team was out on the field. And it looks like Coach Tommy Eason is going to go out for a mound visit, as Kenny Shadle will have to wait. Seemed like I lost a little bit of volume in my ear for some reason. Not sure why. See if I can figure out what's going on. All right, that was quick, and we're back to live action. Kenny Shadle in the box.
Getting hot now in the Pitt Community College bullpen seems to be number 20, Shane Lanier.
Lanier with a 6.14 ERA, 300 opposing batting average across 14 2/3 inning of work in the 2025 regular season campaign. Right-handed hurler, likely to come in behind Luke Lambert. 72nd pitch from the starter goes across the opposite batter's box. Must have a bad headset cord. I keep getting funny audio in my ear. And it's not the joking kind. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first. Shadle at the plate as Lambert throws a pickoff attempt over to first. And Slewinski holds tight. Got the red sliding mitt on. Hope everybody at home's watching on a large screen TV. We just have this one wide-out angle for you, looking down on the field like we're up in the clouds. It's a great vantage point. Somebody yesterday told me they felt like they were watching a video game on a broadcast. Shittle holds off on a middle.
So something that was kind of cool here for the Sock Puppets a few years ago is we held the Appalachian League All-Star Game, and MLB's crew was so big for the broadcast booth that we actually had to build a platform in the stands to house it all.
Shadle holds off on the next offering, brings the count to 3-1 with 1 out and Slewinski down on second. 1 out was James Green on a fly out to the second baseman in shallow center field. Jace Dunn is behind Shadle in the on-deck circle, and that next pitch from Lambert, a called strike, fills up the count. Not a lot of hit-and-run action yet from the Hurricanes, as Coach Bryce Myers on third seems to be calling a rather conservative offensive game so far for the Hurricanes. Hard hit, center field. Going back is Mitch Jones just before the warning track, and Slewinski will have to retreat. Lambert, have to give it to him, even though he's on the opposing team, but as the starting pitcher now at 75, 76 pitches, he's effectively kept the Hurricanes in pop-up territory, whether mostly in the outfield.
He's also been fortunate with some great defense out there on left.
Jace Dunn, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts as he swings through the first pitch from Lambert. And apparently a foul ball. I missed that. Whoopsies. And Slewinski will have to retreat. So there was the hit and run I was mentioning.
Before that pitch off of first, Lewinsky has taken one of the shortest leads I've seen in a long time. So
I do wonder because we saw Labello yesterday try to tag up and make it into second on a fly ball to deep right field and got tagged out. So seems like a little bit more of a conservative approach from my observation at this point by the Louisburg when they're on the base paths. Well, I take that back. Jones from second, right, tried to get to home, and as we know, he did touch just by the stitches on the toe of his cleat, but it did appear as though his foot was over the top. Now, whether the metal cleat touched is maybe argumentative, but it definitely showed his foot right at the left edge of the home plate. Lambert now deals. Fastball just a bit too high for the home plate umpire and crew chief. I hate calling him Mo. Sounds kind of disrespectful, but we haven't been able to get the names of the umpires.
Yeah, I do know that there was an umpiring change that goes behind
2-1
us.
popped up.
Is it going to stay in play?
Bolt trying to keep a glove on it. He does. So that's 3 with 1 left on. No runs scored, 1 hit. Jones, Modrak, and Kreiner when the Hurricanes come back to the plate in the 7th inning. Right now, top of the order for the Bulldogs will be Scarborough, Stallings, and Mason. Game 2 action. Round 2. We're actually in what originally was referred to as Fairchild Stadium. Our overlay title screen here says Fraser Field. That was an error by the production crew. But Fairchild Stadium, otherwise more currently known as the Burlington Athletic Stadium, a few minutes away from I-85 in Burlington, North Carolina, is the Graham exit. Home to the Appalachian League Sock Puppets, a college minor league ball. What level, Carter, is that? Do you know what level ball is are the Sock Puppets?
So since we're unaffiliated now, ever since the 2020 COVID season when MLB dropped most of rookie ball, we are a collegiate summer ball team. So we get a lot of talent from all over the country, I believe the last couple of years. So that'll get through for a hard knock.
Scarborough with a base hit through the right side out to Nick Labello in right.
But we get talent from all over the country. We've had a couple of local kids from Elon University, notably Kenny Mallory Jr. And we've even had some guys from Liberty University, UCLA, NC State. Basically anybody who gets put in the pool are available to come here, and so far I believe that the players have loved it.
Pick off, not in time. So I was going to ask that. You said put into the pool. So I was just going to ask, how are the teams determined for the summer collegiate? It's predominantly D1 level, right, are the players? I think similar in the Coastal Plain League.
Yes, so I believe how it works, and I could be completely wrong on this, but this is just what I've heard before, is coaches from universities will put their players, they'll send them to a league, and then they'll get put in a pool, and they kind of get drafted per se by each team. And then once you're on a team, if you return to the league, you can return to that team, and so on and so forth.
Stallings steps back in with a 2-1 count, puts up the bunt as Shadle collapses on the left side, and then Henry Good comes in with a little chin music. A little bit of a how dare you put up the bunt. Or rather, I'll give you something to bunt. The pickoff thrown away past Jace Dunn, and that'll be 2 bases. Scarborough now down on third with Brody Stallings still in the box. Ben Blondino appears to be warming up in the bullpen for the Hurricanes, as Henry Good is at 75 if you want to count that pickoff attempt. But he's at 74 technically in game changer. Blondino with a 5.30 ERA and a 3.19 opposing batting average. Probably a good mix. Good's next offering goes a little bit wide. Stallings struck out looking in the first and flied out to Colin Cusick in the third. He got skipped over in the fourth and fifth as there was a 1-2-3 inning in the fourth and then only a 4-batter inning in the fifth. Swung on, line drive to center field. Steven Kreiner's going to make the catch, and Scarborough tags up the throw a bit offline up the base path. And a tie game now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. One out, 1 run scores. Josh Mason went down looking in the third and then grounded out to Shadle in the fourth. He is 0 for 2. Off-speed pitch on the inside. I was almost expecting to see Mason get hit because he kind of just stood there. Don't want to say he leaned into it, but he didn't lean away from it.
That was more of that good movement that I was talking about earlier, as I just bended around him.
A little over 50 people watching. The 2-0 count with 1 out now on the third in the lineup. Josh Mason drops that one into right field for a base hit. Cam Greenway coming up. He walked in the second, struck out in the fourth. And with Blondino looking like he's putting in a full effort in the bullpen at the moment. There comes Coach Blake Herring to the mound. That might be the day, end of the day for Henry Good. Give a read through his outing for the day here if he does get the relief from Coach Herring. With only 1 out and a runner on and a tie score 2-2, we'll see what kind of strategy Coach Herring has. Well, he's going to go back and leave the freshman out there. He's got has some faith and confidence in the 6-0 freshman starter.
He's sitting at 81 pitches right now. I wonder if that meeting was either to give the
Blondino a little bit more time, yeah. First pitch fouled off down the left field line. Cam Greenway walked and struck out.
I'd be interested to see if they're going batter by batter here or if this is truly his last hitter.
Well, maybe batter by batter. I mean, even if maybe a double play, obviously, will get them out of the inning. Off speed, swung on, dropped into shallow center field. Kreiner picks it up on 2 hops and gets it into the shortstop, Slawinski. So back-to-back base hits puts runners first and second. And we'll see how much more time Blondino will get in the bullpen. Yep, there comes Coach Blake Herring now. He's going to make the relief move as he wants to try to hold on to an opportunity to shut down the Bulldogs with a possible double play action. They seem to be timing up Henry Good. He gets the relief from Coach Herring, a pat on the back, and glove slaps from his teammates as he makes his way into the dugout. A lot of support here as Good comes in with all of his teammates out of the dugout, giving him pats on the back, saying good job, keeping us in the game. We'll give a quick readout on Henry Good here. 5 1/3 inning of work this morning. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. He has faced 22 batters. He threw 50 strikes on 82 pitches. That's pretty good strike ratio for the right-handed Game 2 starter.
Yeah, and he has a lot to be proud of, being so young and being put in a pressure-filled elimination game in the postseason. And even though he's responsible for runners on first and second, he had a great outing today, one to be proud of.
Ben Blondino, the first relieving pitcher here in Game 2. As mentioned previously, he's got a 5.30 ERA, a 3.19 opposing batting average. He's put up 35 2/3 inning of work in the regular season of 2025. 2 saves to his name, had 3 game starts, 13 appearances, with 32 strikeouts. Zach Chavez stepping in. First batter to see Ben Blondino. A little bit more velo from Blondino. And a fastball, middle away. Gets the first baseman to look. Presumably to time up Blondino. The 0-1 now. Hard hit. Right side, blocked down by Jace Dunn as he has to follow it as it ricochets off his glove toward the 4-hole. Another one of those hard to call. Was it a hit or an error? Not sure if Blondino would have had the coverage over there at first in time to get Chavez or not.
I believe he would have had him at second, the way his momentum was taking him.
Jan Pospisil grounded out and flied out in his 2 at-bats. Bases loaded, 1 out. Remember, we had a similar situation where Jace Dunn took an unassisted out at first, threw down to Jake Modrak. And another one from the left-handed hitting Jan Pospisil that screams past Jace Dunn in foul territory. Almost repeat of what I was describing, where Dunn came up with it, touched first, fired down to home, and our home plate umpire said that the runner's foot got under the tag, but I questioned whether or not the 2 players touched. Off speed from Blondino gets a called strike. 0-2 on Pospisil with bases loaded and 1 out.
And on that play you're talking about, it was a bang-bang play, but undoubtedly
off speed, breaking ball, swing and a miss.
It was a big out number 2 as the Hurricanes look to strand the bases loaded.
Two outs, bases loaded, Mitch Jones. He is 0 for 1. Got out in his first at-bat and walked in his second. Home plate umpire says no pitch. Has to go back to nothing, he said. Not sure what that was about. I looked away.
I didn't see either.
Guess maybe he just didn't say, play ball. He wasn't ready or set, and Blondino fired. I don't know.
The batter and the pitcher were definitely ready, so
yeah,
must have been the umpire.
The 1-0. A little low and away. Up, 2 balls, 1 strike. All right. I thought I said had to go back to nothing, but 2 balls, 1 strike now is the count with 2 outs.
I also believe that's what he said.
Infield playing back. Soft fly ball, left field. James Green comes up with it. Blondino comes in and works the Hurricanes out of trouble with bases loaded, 3 left on as we go to the middle of 7, or at least we're in the middle of 7. Sorry, we're at the top. My bad, of 7. Jones, Modrak, and Kreiner coming up for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. Starting pitcher Luke Lambert back out on the mound, toeing the slab as we're in the top of the 7th inning for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. He's put up 6 innings of work, has given up 6 hits, 2 runs, and 6 strikeouts recorded. 23 batters faced, 48 strikes called on 80 pitches thrown. And the Hurricanes dugout is fired up as they're looking to break this tie score. Shane Lanier is still warming up in the bullpen for the Bulldogs. Anthony Jones looks at the first offering from Lambert that is outside the strike zone. Jones with a base hit and a fly out so far in this game. And Lambert looks like he's starting to fade.
Lanier has been hot for about 2 or 3 innings now, and with this being close to the 3rd time through the lineup, you wonder how long that they're going to keep Lambert going.
80 pitches. And he misses just a little bit low. 3 balls, no strikes on the leadoff batter here in the top of the 7th inning is Anthony Jones. 60 people watching along. Thanks for chiming in if you haven't already do so in the live chat. If you have access, that is. All of the usual suspects seem to be checking in already so far. Thanks for your comments. Anthony Jones now check swings on a 3-1 count. And Bolt says he thought it was a foul ball off the knob of the bat. And apparently it was, so a full count.
Yeah, no argument from Jones there, so.
I got, both ears covered with the headset, so I didn't necessarily hear the ting, but other people are shaking their head here. Our executive producer, Sophia, says she heard it.
I think if I heard anything, I thought I had heard the elbow pad.
Yeah. Hard hit, center field. Mitch Jones really just steps to the side and makes the catch. Modrak singled and then was batted in on a home run by Cusick in the 5th in his last at-bat. First offering out of the strike zone. 1-0 on the second batter with one out, nobody on. Top of the 7th. It's a 2-2 game. Much more entertaining than yesterday. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Two runs apiece, 6 hits for Louisburg, 5 for Pitt. And Modrak, otherwise referred to by his teammates as Mo Money Modrak, fouls that one off. Couldn't quite get to the bottom of it with Caden Lasley as to where did that Mo Money come from, other than it just sounded good. Foul tip again off the very end of the barrel as Modrak reaches to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 7th inning. And the Hurricanes looking to get more rally going. They put up a 2 spot in the 5th. Popped up left side of the infield. Calling for it is going to be Brody Stallings, and he comes up with the catch. And Lambert now at 91 pitches, so clearly Coach Eason is going to try to run the starter up to, if not beyond, 100 pitches. Steven Kreiner off the hands. Does it drop in? No. Scarborough comes up with it. 3 up, 3 down as Colin Cusick is left on deck when the Hurricanes come back in the 8th. It'll be Cusick, Labello, and Green. Two runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. Matched up by 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. We're in Game 2, Round 2 of the double elimination postseason Region 10 South Atlantic Tournament. Both teams upset yesterday in the first round with losses. Now they're in the losers bracket, having to battle their way uphill to get to that championship game. If they can do it, everything is possible in hand grenades and horseshoes. Patrick Bolt steps in for the 3rd time. He flied out and grounded into a fielder's choice and was left on deck. Soft fly ball, right field. Labello dives, but it bounces off his glove. Great effort by the right fielder.
He got a good jump out there in right field, but that ball just
died.
Yeah, just dive bombed out of the sky. Just to get a glove on it, though, is super impressive.
Unfortunately, because he did touch it before it hit the ground, he comes up with an error. But not really a fair one at that. It's just a technicality. But Lobello laid right out, coming in on a ball like a dead duck coming out of the air.
Well, I think on a play like that, you rule that as a hit because it wasn't routine, you know.
No outs, runner on first. Ben Blondino back on the bump. Called strike on the offered bunt by Evan Goodwin, and he drew it back.
I don't know if you have this stat available to you, but I'd be interested to know what his inherited runners, how many inherited runners he's allowed to score, because he did a very good job last inning.
Soft roller back to Blondino, gets the runner down to second on a sac bunt. Top of the batting order, or lineup rather, J.D. Scarborough, the right fielder, grounded out and singled twice. Popped up, left side of the infield. Slewinski calls for it. Shadle retreats, and there's 2 outs. Brody Stallings now. He struck out looking and had a couple of flyouts. Stallings is the shortstop for the Bulldogs. Blondino at 14 pitches, deals a little off speed that misses as it drops in just in front of catcher Jake Modrak. 2 out and a runner on second. Tie score as we're in the bottom of the 7th. Blondino tries to get Stallings chasing on the outside. And the 2-0 is a little tight. Gets Stallings to spin around in the batter's box trying to protect himself. Yesterday in the game, I don't know if you recall, Carter, in game 1, the Bobcats had a lot of whistling coming out of their dugout. Kind of
I do remember that, yeah.
Interesting way to cheer on your teammates. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Stallings at the plate, Blondino on the mound. The pitch, swung on, grounder, gets through this 5-6 hole. James Green comes up with a hard throw to the cutoffs. Shadle. And Stalling reaches on a clean base hit. Josh Mason, a strikeout, a ground out, single, and he got stranded on third with a bases loaded situation in the last inning.
And that ball in the last play there just hit a little too hard to feel confident about sending him.
Coach Blake Herring is going to come out to talk with Blondino in the infield. Nobody in the bullpen warming up, so I don't see this as a strategic move at this point of relief. Blondino still with a decent amount of velo, and it looks like Coach Herring is going to fix the pitch communicator technology that they use. The Louisburg College Hurricanes do not use the wrist communicator to the pitcher. They use a radio earpiece in the catcher's helmet.
So kind of like PitchCom in the majors.
Yeah, exactly. So from that vantage point, Coach Herring can make calls from the dugout into Jake Modrak behind the plate, and then Modrak gives the traditional hand signals between the legs, and you hope your batters are not trying to peek, and you're trying to hope your base path runners are not trying to signal back to the hitter, all the good stuff that makes up baseball.
So I worked 2 years for Western Carolina's baseball team when I was in school, and we used a similar system where our catcher would have a radio, but our pitcher would still have a watch on. It was so that so the pitch would be radioed into the catcher and then electronically through the watch to the pitcher.
Josh Mason now, the second baseman. Looks at a fastball low and away from Ben Blondino. First and third situation. Patrick Bolt at third. Brody Stallings at second. And they have a pinch runner for Bolt is Curry. Don't see him on the lineup from a batting perspective, so he must not. Oh, there he is, Chase Curry. So he's a pinch runner down on third. 3 balls now to Josh Mason. And Blondino's going to have to offer up a strike, and he misses in that 6 inches of gray area between the plate and the batter's box. And that'll fill up the bases.
With an open base there, you don't hate pitching around a guy, maybe trying to make him get himself out there, so you're not just serving up a cookie that can be sent over the fence and make the lead greater than what it should be.
Greenway with a walk and a strikeout and a single. I don't know if you're really pitching around anybody per se. And off speed, almost a lob pitch that seemed to go over the brim of the helmet for Cam Greenway.
Yeah, it looked like a get-me-over fastball that just didn't get over.
And we got a lefty and a righty warming up in the bullpen for the Hurricanes to give Coach Herring some options. Looks like Simon Martone and 52, Anthony
That ball's to third.
Dorner.
Third baseman takes it. And Blondino escapes another one. 6 men left on base in the last 2 innings for the Bulldogs as the Hurricanes escape another jam.
Zach Chavez left on deck, followed by Jan Pospisil and Mitch Jones to start off the 8th inning when the Bulldogs come back up. But right now, your Louisburg College Hurricanes are going to come to the plate with Colin Cusick, Nick Lobello, and James Green.
So we can actually put some names to our umpiring crew here, as I've just been given the umpire sheet.
Well done. Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network, being brought to you in part by Murphy Farm Hay and Feed. Farms, families, communities, 40 years. Products and service for every occasion is Mangum Insurance Agency and offices at Coates and Dunn. Specializing in Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, it's Johnny's Barbecue. Tell them the Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball team sent you if you go in to try out some of their hush puppies, pulled pork, and all others. Shane Lanier now on the bump right now as a first reliever behind the starter, Luke Lambert. Lambert went 7 innings of work, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. He faced 26 batters and threw 55 strikes on 92 pitches. Tim Gansrow, Nick Milligan, and Matt Turbleville are our officiators for today. We'll presume Tim Gansrow is our home plate umpire and crew chief. And we'll just have to take a 50-50 guess between Nick Milligan and Matt Turbleville as to which one of them is on the left and right side of the infield. Anybody knows? Leave it in the live stream. Your guess may be as good as mine.
So Lanier threw about 2 1/3 in the bullpen down there. He was warming up for a while. So
He's either going to be on the money or he's going to be worn out.
He's coming into the day's game with a 1.98 whip, so he does allow base runners.
as mentioned, somewhere is my stat line on Lanier. 6.14 ERA and a 300 opposing batting average. Ground ball to the third baseman. Pospisil over to Chavez. And Cusick will return to the dugout on a 5-3 ground ball out. Top of the order now for the Hurricanes. Nick Lobello. Lobello yet to be productive in today's game, but put up a 2-run homer yesterday in the first game, scoring 2 of the 3 runs, and he gets ahead of that pitch from Lanier and skies it out of play. Yeah, I had this pointed out to me after the game yesterday by my son. There's a BMX track off in left field. And now that I look out there, all of a sudden I'm saying, wow, it is pretty interesting sight line from this vantage point. Not that our viewers at home can see it off past left field, but well, maybe they can see a bit of it if you're on a big screen TV just past the yellow foul pole at 330 feet. You see some brown stuff out there. That's part of that BMX racetrack facility. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so that was built around, I believe, 2010.
Lobello with an 0-2 count and 1 out. And Lanier misses high and away. So it's been there for a bit of a time.
Yeah, I so I'm from this area, and I came to Royals games before we rebranded the Sock Puppets a lot. And I remember when it was being built, and there's actually a pretty big BMX scene here in Burlington, North Carolina.
Yeah, there used to be a freestyle scene down in Holly Springs with Daniel Durs. That seems to have evaporated as that place went out of business. And Lobello fouls off the next offering, and he's sitting at a 1-2 count with nobody on and 1 out. We're in the top of the 8th inning with a tie score still. 6 hits for Louisburg, 7 for the Bulldogs. And we have both teams with relieving pitchers now here late in the game. Lanier on the mound for the Bulldogs. And the 1-2. That wouldn't have been good.
Also, the ERA for Lanier is a bit deceiving, being as high as it is at 6.14. He had a rough month of February with a 15.3 ERA to start the season, and then it's just gone down every month, posting a 2.25 last April.
Carter Honeycutt on the stats for the broadcast. Well played, sir. Well played. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Shane Lanier towing the slab, and Nick Lobello watches the fastball ride up and over the strike zone. Again, Tim Gansrow is our home plate umpire and crew chief. Somewhere in the field is Nick Milligan and Matt Turberville. Which one is at third? Which one's at first? Take a guess.
Well,
but they are our officiators for the game. 3 balls.
And that would be a pitch clock violation.
Runs up to 4. A free ride for Nick Lobello. Gets down to first on a pitch clock violation. I put that one in the book as a PCV.
Now batting 42, James Green.
That's the second or third one we've seen this game. Second one we've seen this game, and I believe that I saw
Lambert.
2 all of yesterday.
Yeah, Lambert got tagged with 1 earlier in the game as he was spending a lot of time with the pitch communicator, and it looks like right now Lanier is saying this thing's not working. So they may have to resort back to the good old-fashioned, touch the ear, touch the cap in the dugout, and we'll have to see what the Bulldogs can do to improvise. I wonder how much do teams rely upon this pitch communicator technology to a point where they can't seem to live without it. I would think the old school coaches probably say, look, here, you're going to use this, but in the event that this thing goes south, here, we have to have a backup plan B.
And most college pitchers, they'll really only rely on a three-pitch mix, generally fastball, slider, changeup. So, you could easily just assign them to some fingers, maybe mix it up a little bit between the legs to throw them off. But
James Green still at the plate for Louisburg with Labello at first and one out. That was a ground ball by Cusick to the third baseman. Shane Lanier on the bump, toeing the slab. And that one misses in the dirt right in front of Patrick Bolt. "70 people now watching in the broadcast. Thanks for joining us. We got representation from New York City to Washington State. They like that. Pickoff, not in time. Labello back and under the tag, head first. Runner goes. The throw down from Bolt. No way. Ooh. Holy cow. Says that Lombardi must have been tagged on the backside before he got to second base, but it looked like the throw down was high, and the tag could not, in my vantage point up here, had gotten to him in time.
Yeah, it looked like to me he kind of missed him entirely on that back leg, unless he somehow caught a pant leg that, maybe we didn't see.
So James Green still at the plate with a 2-0 count now with 2 outs. High and away as he exercises some plate discipline. Good friend of mine, Craig Montour from Tacoma, Washington, watching, following along.
Is he a Louisburg alum?
No. Originally from Montreal.
Oh, wow.
One of the original Expo fans. And James Green picks up a walk. Now he's a Mariners fan out there in the Pacific Northwest. I'm still an Expos fan, though. I like the logo. I think it's pretty classic. I'd love to see it be brought back. I just don't know that as a market that Montreal could support another major league team. All right, Slewinski. Singled in his last at bat, but he gets plunked there. That didn't feel good.
Oh, they were going to. Okay, I thought he had fouled it off. I thought it went off the bat.
Yeah, Bulldogs are in disagreement, thinking that he swung. So first and second with 2 outs. And Kenny Shadle is going to be coming up. It looks like Slewinski is going to get tended to by the athletic trainer for Louisburg College. And that possibly is not a good sign unless they're just trying to throw off the rhythm for Lanier.
Well, he was immediately grabbing the knuckle after he was hit.
Yeah.
And with it being presumably on his throwing hand.
Yeah, we'll see if he makes it to the field in the next inning. We're in the top of the 8th. We'll see if he gets out to shortstop in the bottom. But for now, Slewinski is down at first, and Shadle, with 2 outs, steps into the box with 2 on. And Lanier's first offering outside by quite a distance.
Yeah, Bulldogs also have number 16, Ryan Johnson, getting hot in the pen over there. Should Lanier not be able to escape this jam?
Johnson has 15 appearances, all in relief, 19 2/3 of an inning. Check swing, called strike to Kenny Shadle. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. We're in a tie score game in the top of the 8th. Shane Lanier about to pitch. Off speed. Second called strike. Shadle didn't like it. Can't do much about it, though, other than to swing and hit it.
I think he was sitting fastball there after the first 2 pitches in the at-bat and just got frozen by a slider.
Shane Lanier's 1-2 count. Outside, pass ball. Patrick Bolt will chase after it, and runners will advance 90 feet unattested. So a second and third now situation with 2 outs, and Shadle just needs to find some green space, nothing big. Or brown space on the infield to get to the green space on the outfield, but really just put the ball in play through the infield, and with Slawinski at second, he's got enough base path speed. Green will score easily. Swing and a miss. Runners left on. Shane Lanier works the Bulldogs out of trouble in a 2-out situation as Green and Slawinski are left stranded. We're in the middle of 8 now. In the 9th inning, Jace Dunn, Anthony Jones, and Jake Modrak for the Hurricanes. Harrison Lombardi, though, back on the bump, toeing the slab as we start the bottom of the 8th inning, and he's going to be facing off against Zach Chavez, Jan Pospisil, and Mitch Jones. And the first pitch to Zach Chavez, a little bit outside.
Good sign for the Hurricanes is Slawinski stays in the game short after taking the ball off the hand in the previous inning.
Lombardi with 3 pitches outside. Anthony Dorner and Simon Martone in the bullpen, a lefty and a righty respectively warming up. Down the middle, called strike, makes it 31. Batters count here now for the leadoff first baseman. Chavez pops it up left side. Slawinski gets called off by James Green. And one-handed, looking like a pro out there. Mr. Green is definitely D1 material. What school will be fortunate enough to pick him up as a sophomore or a rising junior, if you want to look at it that way? He has put up some fantastic numbers for Louisburg the last 2 seasons. A spectacular freshman season, followed it up with a soft start in his sophomore campaign, but by midseason, he just started tearing up offensively.
And with the speed he showed off on that play there and left, he looks like he could be a real 5-tool guy.
Yeah, you got 3 speed demons across the outfield, Green, Kreiner, and Labello. They cover a lot of space out there for the Hurricanes. and have taken away any number of base hits in the gaps, in the alleys. And Lombardi slips on that last delivery. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And it should be interesting to see where Coach Herring goes if he does decide to relieve Lombardi. Popped up left side, shallow left field. James Green going to call for it again.
So it is Blondino still on the
Blondino,
mound.
I'm sorry. My apologies. Thanks for catching me. It's these Irish names I keep mixing up. Blondino. I'm sorry to the Blondino family and the Lombardi family. Switching up your sons. Ben Blondino has been the reliever. And right now he's got 2 outs on the board, so those arms can just keep warming up. No rush at this point. As Mitch Jones, the center fielder, fouls off the next offering and gets himself behind in the count. 2 out, nobody on.
And a great managerial move by the Hurricanes, going with Blondino after Good. Just 2 different velos and very different and pretty different arm angles to really.
Jones is 0 for 2.
Let these guys get in the
And he
rhythm.
looks at a pitch just a bit outside. Not close enough, but right. I call it the gray space between the plate. There's 6 inches of subjective zone between the plate and the other batter's box. That one ripped on a rope into left field. That'll drop in and be on the fence in 1 hop. That'll be a double for Jones. A 2-out double for the center fielder for the Bulldogs. Brings up the catcher, Patrick Bolt.
And you gotta
And looks like Bernard now is in for Bolt. Reagan Bernard. And I did notice in some previous box scores that Coach Tommy Eason of Pitt Community College does put in a number of substitutes later in the game. And interesting at this point, why you would pull out Bolt unless he's just seeing some performance issues.
Well, I do. Curry pinch ran for Bolt last time he was on base. At least that's what I have it in my book as.
Bernard with a .217 batting average. He has had 60 at-bats. An 0-1 count with 2 outs and a runner on second. Ground ball, second baseman Colin Cusick. And that leaves 1 stranded. DH Evan Goodwin left on deck, followed by J.D. Scarborough and Brody Stallings for the 9th inning, while Jace Dunn, Anthony Jones, and Jake Modrak due up for your Louisburg College Hurricanes. 2025 NJCAA Region 10 D2 South Atlantic District Tournament, being brought to you live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube, as the Louisburg College Hurricanes and the Pitt Community College Bulldogs face off in Game 2 at the Burlington Athletics Stadium, Fairchild Stadium prior. Both teams dropping their Game 1 matchups as favors or favored teams in the East versus West Round 1 matchups that spill over here into Round 2. Fifth batter in the lineup overall, but first for this inning is Jace Dunn. And he swings at the first offering and puts it out of the ballpark, but in the opposite direction. Tie game as we start the top of the ninth inning, a do-or-die situation for both clubs unless we go to extra innings. And Dunn looks at a strike from Lanier.
You know, it's only a 2-2 ball game right now, but it hasn't been without. There has been chances for both teams. By my count, there has been 9 combined stranded runners in the past 3 innings. So you just wonder who's going to be the one to step up and get that big hit.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations where someone's going to look like a champ. Check swing called strike. Tim Gansrow said he went. Anthony Jones coming in. Singled in his first at-bat in the second, but hasn't yet reached since. And a foul tip into the glove of Bernard, the substitute catcher.
I believe so.
Fly ball, left center field, one bounce to the wall, and Jones is going to have a double. That could be it right there, as you mentioned, Carter. Somebody is going to have the opportunity to really show up, right, as they say, and perform in a time of need. That could have been Anthony Jones right there with that double. He'll get a pinch runner, number 11. I believe that's Stephen Williams, as it is. And I'm going to give you a guess, Carter. Why do you think Stephen Williams is pinch running for Anthony Jones?
You got to get that speed on the base paths. Any single through the middle or anything, you want to be scoring that go-ahead run to take a lead into the bottom of the ninth.
And that is exactly it. Stephen Williams, with a lot of base path speed, has been a critical strategic pinch runner throughout the season at times by Coach Herring. Hit on the right side, and Williams tags up easily and advances.
They're already putting that good speed to work. I wasn't sure if he was going to tag because that wasn't the deepest fly ball, but he gets there, gets to third standing up.
And that's exactly why he was put in. Steven Kreiner now steps in. He had that dinger yesterday off to left field. A big swing by the center fielder through a fastball by Lanier.
Looked like he was looking for a second one there in the late innings. Two
out and a foul tip. Get this out of the way now. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Louisburg College baseball team may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Louisburg College baseball team. Stephen Kreiner steps back in with an 0-2 count, 2 out and a runner on third. Stephen Williams, a pinch runner for Anthony Jones, who doubled to a long fly ball into left center field. And the pitch, high and away. Williams will have to hold at third, but he's dancing down there on a lead. Pospisil, the Czech Republic third baseman for the Bulldogs.
That was a good job there by the backup catcher to keep that in front of him and not let that get to the backstop.
So if I'm not mistaken, the entire infield have pitch communicators so they can see what is coming. Soft roller to Pospisil. The throw, and he gets him. Wow. So the run will not count as the Bulldogs will get the last at-bats, and we'll see if the Hurricanes can hold them off as Dorner and Martone go back to the bullpen as Ben Blondino comes out. Game 2 is tied up at 2 apiece as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning with the Pitt Community College Bulldogs getting the home field advantage and last at-bats. Whether we go to extra innings or not, we'll have to see, but a decision will be made after this next half inning. And the tension is palpable. Cut it with a butter knife at this point. 2 arms warming up in the bullpen, but Blondino has worked out of bases loaded trouble 2 innings back to back, so something to be said right there for the right-handed reliever.
Yeah, Blondino, the first 2 innings, he kind of played as, you could call him the fireman. He was able to put out the fire with bases loaded to keep him off the board twice. And then, even though he allowed a double, he did have a shutdown inning there in the 8th.
2 2/3 inning of work, 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He has faced 13 batters and has thrown 23 strikes on 43 pitches overall. And right now, he's looking at Evan Goodwin at the bottom of the order, the designated hitter. 1 pitch and a ground ball past the diving Evan Slawinski, and that gets Goodwin to first base.
It looks like Blondino will have to work himself out of some trouble again as he's looking to send this one to extras.
J.D. Scarborough conferencing with head coach Bobby Eason down the third baseline. Home plate umpire looks like he's doing something. Hand signals down to Nick Milligan at first. Not really clear. Do we have a substitute? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's Scarborough at the dish.
Goodwin down first, so it all looks copacetic, and the offered bunt pulled back, and Blondino misses a little bit outside. Louisburg dugout is a little quiet at the moment. Foul ball evens up the count at 1 apiece. You hear a lot of Bulldog activity in the microphones, but not hearing much Louisburg, and they really should be chirping up, trying to get Blondino and the defense excited. Have a double play opportunity here with Shadle collapsing at third. And Scarborough pulls back the bunt again, and Blondino misses. 2-1. No outs, runner on first, bottom of the 9th with a tie score. The winner of this game advances. The loser goes home for the season. Blandino deals, and he gets an inside heater on Scarborough. Give him something to think about, but he brings the count to 3-1.
And the thing is here, when a guy's squaring around and you know he's giving himself up, it almost becomes that much harder to find the zone.
Swings away and gets it through the right side past Jace Dunn, who was holding the runner at first. And a single makes it first and second for J.D. Scarborough. Coach Herring coming out, and the Bulldogs with a little bit of chirping and Martone gets the call. The right-handed freshman out of Apex Friendship High School is coming on the bump, and he'll relieve Blandino. Martone with a 7.08 ERA has an opposing batting average of .319. He has 47 strikeouts on 34 and a third innings pitched. He's faced 138 batters. He's second in strikeouts for the Louisburg College Hurricanes. Has a 3-4 win-loss record as a starter. He's made 11 appearances and leads the team in strikeouts looking. So not to oversell him, but he's a hard-throwing right-hander freshman. Showed a lot of talent. In the fall and then again in the spring. Worked around in the starting rotation, and Coach Herring kind of bouncing him back and forth between a starter or a reliever, a starter in the last outing against Guilford Tech, and now he's getting tapped as a reliever here in game 2. It's a do or die situation. So clearly Coach Herring trying to put up his best combination of pitchers. Brody Stallings is going to be stepping in to face off as the first batter against Simon Martone. No outs. Runners first and second. The infield corners are in. Now they retreat. And Martone's first pitch, a fastball that goes a touch up and away from Stallings. Martone, no stranger to the pressure cooker situations. He went 7 innings a year ago for his high school in the conference tournament. And Cusick caught almost flat-footed as Martone turns around to throw. So some communication between the pitcher and his middle infield needs to be established.
Yeah, so the disengagement rule is kind of similar to MLB, but it's only if you don't throw over that you have two. You know, that could have led to a mistake, so I almost want him to hold the ball there.
Foul ball on an attempted bunt by Stallings, and that evens up the count 1-1. Runners first and second. Yeah, you have to be on the same bat channel with your pitcher as a middle infielder in these types of situations. I'm sure they're practiced repeatedly, but get caught up playing the game. Stallings with the bunt again, and then he draws it back. So the corners are in, and obviously if the pitch is good, he's going to look to push it through one of the corners or pull it, either or. 2 balls, 1 strike. To your point, Carter, you got to stay focused and just find the strike zone here with the bat being put out for the offered bunt. Right back to Martone. He goes to third and gets the force, and it gets past Shadle. Goes out to left field. Not sure if the runner sliding in knocked the ball out of his glove or the throw was a little off, but Shadle didn't hold on to it. Maybe he closed the glove early. Tough from our vantage point to see what happened, and now we have bases loaded.
Yeah, what it looked like to me was he had the ball and then just maybe didn't close it too early. Maybe he opened it too early when the runner was coming in and just dropped it.
So Stallings reaches on a fielder's choice. And Josh Mason steps up. No outs. The first pitch, ground ball to Jace Dunn, back to the home plate, gets the force and throws down for a double play.
Wow.
And the Louisburg Hurricanes, with Simon Martone as the reliever, just put 2 outs on the board and a spectacular 3-2-3 double play with runners on second and third. That's got to give the Hurricanes some excitement right now. They know anything and everything is possible for them.
That's a great way to stay focused and stay composed after an error on the previous play. Easy to get down on yourself as a team, but huge double play.
Cam Greenway steps in. First pitch called strike on a breaking ball by Simon Martone. Tie score in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 outs. Martone comes set, kicks, deals, and the same pitch with the same result. 2 strikes. As Cam Greenway looks back to the dugout in disbelief. Gets caught looking on 2 breaking balls. An 0-2 count now. Greenway's behind. Martone with the advantage. Same pitch up the middle, and that'll be a run scored. Hurricanes drop game 2 in the double elimination. Bulldogs will advance while the Hurricanes will have to hold their heads up. They did make it to the postseason, and they gave a valid effort here in game 2 with a tie score going to the bottom of the 9th inning. But a base hit scores a run.
Yeah, it was a pitching and defense game. Almost got out of a bases loaded jam 3 times, but just not to be today for the Hurricanes.
2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Hurricanes. Outdone by 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors by the Pitt Community College Bulldogs. Simon Martone comes in with 2/3 of an inning relief. Unfortunately gives up 1 run after facing 3 and throwing 8 pitches total. For Coach Herring, Dr. Gary Brown, and the entire Louisburg College baseball program, and the Louisburg Sports Network organization. With Carter Honeycutt, Sophia, my executive video producer for the day, and myself, Bill Martone, saying thank you so much for tuning in all season long to watch Hurricanes baseball. Have a great rest of your weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all those that are watching. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. Take care and farewell.